guys, we got some pretty interesting card effects that got revealed this week stream. First off, we got some shop qualifier promos. This one is Shigel Fiona. Her effect is that when this unit is placed on the Reguard circle, an auto effect, or placed on the Guardian circle, in Soul Blast 1, choose on any player's other Reguards and it gets power 10,000 until the end of turn and cannot pay the cost of any of its auto abilities. So basically, yeah, you give the cost, the Reguard some 10k power, but you're giving it shutting down its entire auto ability, usually on attack, and in like against something like maybe like a Hamiel, which you might want to guard. This makes it much more easier, right? If you wanted to null it, then bam, right? No more that Sentinel restrict. Pretty annoying, but it's a pretty interesting effect for Spike Brothers, and like just a defensive ability. So that's good to see. Second thing we got is this one for Geek Chronicle. So this one is act Reguard Circle once per turn. Soul Blast and discard a card from your hand, and this unit cannot be chosen for your opponent's card effects until end of opponent's next turn. So that's the first effect. Second effect is a very interesting one. This is order on the Reguard Circle at the start of your opponent's battle phase. Counterblast 2 and bind this unit. You choose one of your opponent's Reguards and put it on the bottom of their deck. If you put your opponent looks at the top card of their deck and calls it a Reguard Circle. So this is like a hit round effect, just kind of weaker and way higher cost, right? But maybe in V, this is pretty nice. Again, right? You see your opponent stack up something huge like a Hamiel pre-battle phase. You go, okay, I can just CB2 and pop it away, right? Pop it away, saves you a lot of headaches of guarding. But just another defensive option. Of course, for Geek Chronicle, might be a bit weird to put this one in, just because of space-related issues and the fact that it does require CB2, which is quite a heavy cost. But just being able to maybe shut down an entire like column that would otherwise be very, very annoying to guard, that could be worth it, right? Could be worth it. So pretty interesting. This is a Steam Performer, Kroom, right? So yeah, that's pretty cool. Anyway, moving on, we do have this other one for the shop qualifier. This is for a D, I think. So this effect is continuous Reguard Circle. If you have 5 or more cards in your soul, this unit gets power plus 5,000, and then this is active on your opponent's turn as well. So this is for the Dark States. Usually Dark States does generate quite a bit of soul, so it shouldn't be that hard to get. And then you're just basically able to get a 13k body. Not really in a crazy effect, but you know, still like kind of maybe nice to have, right? And then we saw this one yesterday. This one was revealed on the anime, on this Trick Moon. This is pretty interesting. Just kind of ties in with Bab Sagara. So we might as well just talk about it again. So auto, when this unit is placed on your back row center Reguard Circle from drop, you can countercharge 1. That's great, right? Dragon Empire getting access to a countercharge 1. Even Nirvana can call this out and get some free goodies, right? The second effect is called Dress Boost, right? That's what the effect is called. Order on the Reguard Circle, when this unit boosts, the boost unit gets plus 10,000 power until the end of that battle for each of card your Sealed Maiden, Blaze Maiden of Bab Saga is armed with. So let's say you put it on the side and you boost like a random card. If your Bab Saga is armed with 2, then that boost unit gets plus 20k. So it doesn't have to like boost a Bab Saga or anything. It just checks how many armed cards your Bab Saga Vanguard is armed with, and then it gives the plus 10k for each. So ideally it's a plus 20k. Right, so that's pretty good. I think this is pretty nice. I'm being able to be much more aggressive, hitting those high columns with Trick Moon is pretty cool. I'll definitely put on some pretty disgusting early game pressure, right? As soon as you hit grade 3, bam, you're hitting big columns, right? And then they revealed the new arms as well this week. So this is the Spear, Sealed Blaze Spear Aditya, right? So this goes on the right side, and then after. If you play this, if you play like another arms on the same side, you just put this into the drop. Just reminder text, kind of important as well, because sometimes you do want to play over your arms just to get some more effects. But this effect, her first effect for the spear is when this card is armed, draw a card, and you may play 1 additional arms card this turn. So this is actually pretty cool. This does require CB1 to play. But it does allow you to immediately play an extra arm unit, and it does draw a card as well. So kind of replacing itself. But more keyly is that it lets you, first on your first grade 3 turn, double arm up, trigger those Trick Moons, but also get all your arms going. But bear in mind, this is taking up the right slot, so it's competing with your swords, right? Normally you like to chuck swords. If you're on the spear, you might be running less of the chucking, right? But on the left, you have the gun and the shield, right? And the shield is a pretty good equip. Just immediately equip a 10k shield forever. That's pretty nice. The second effect is during your turn, armed with this card gets plus 10,000 power. So it's like giving you the same amount of power as the sword, pretty much. You just lose the chucking effect to deal that extra damage. So this is kind of interesting. Personally, I think the fact that you can immediately pump up and get going is very strong, and like giving the same power as the sword is very nice, right? Because the sword overall is a CB2, but this you can deal a damage, right, which is cool. But overall, being able to just have that huge Vanguard pressure early on is quite strong as well. So I think the spear is not bad. I think the spear is actually pretty good. The second one we see is the gun, right? So the gun, this is Sealed Blaze gun, Chandra. This goes on the left slot, so it's competing with the shield, right? I think competing with the shield is pretty tough. This requires a Soul Blast 1 to play as well. This effect, there's only one effect for this. So when this unit armed with the card attacks, you can counter blast 2, and the unit armed with this card gets drive +1 until the end of that battle. At the end of that battle, put this card into the drop. So, like the sword, if you use this effect, and it's quite a hefty cost as well, CB2, you get an extra drive, which is nice. It's literally just a +1, right? +1 with the ability to drive check. But at the end of that, you do just pop it and feels bad. Now, it doesn't really have any other effects apart from that, which is quite when you're competing with a shield, right? When you're competing with a shield, I feel like you need to be a bit more value, right? You need to be more value. So I don't know, the gun feels a bit, it's like a bit like low value for me. Of course, you can also play something like the gun and sword, and then you can like CB4 at the end of that battle. Well, you can CB2 at the beginning of the battle, and then CB2 at the end of the battle, use so much CB, and chuck all your weapons, which is pretty funny. This is like, I guess the gun is like, if you shoot it, you lose ammo. So, I mean, you only run one ammo in the gun. That feels a bit dodgy, or it just overloads and explodes. But yeah, I don't know. So far, I feel like some good combinations are the spear shield, right? The spear shield, and then I guess you can play some swords in as well, because if you're able to get value from regenerating Trick Moon, that's not bad. The spear allows you to, I guess it draws 1 as well. But I guess like if you play the spear, then you only have 1 turn where you actually use its effect, right? So maybe something like 1 shield, 1 spear, and then lots of swords. Yeah. So I guess, I don't know. I think this will actually be kind of interesting to see kind of equip lineups you run. Yeah, right. It's just something we'll probably need to see more of the cards. But so far, I don't know. The gun has been a bit slightly underwhelming. Especially when you're competing with the shield. So yeah. All right, that's it from me. Quick reveal this week. Just a bunch of new cards, and yeah. I mean, Babs looks really nice, and she gets some new toys to play with. Yeah, that's it. All right, see you guys next video. All right, bye.